Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. Once again, it is the four middle-aged guys just bullshitting about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
And Long 32.
Yep, yes, indeed. We've got Shang Long 32 sitting on fourth chair tonight. We're going to go ahead and run in, and we're going to continue on with our set of reviews that are a few months late. Let's just be honest. June 10th this year was the Netflix release for Voltron Legendary Defender, and you guys must have been wondering, especially since we did the two previous videos earlier this year for like trailer reactions and stuff like that. So since they went ahead and they talked about it, June 10th came around, we didn't say nothing about it. Well, we finally got around to sitting there and watching all the episodes, and this particular video is going to be our review of what we thought about it. Guys, Voltron Legendary Defender, I know we have lots of thoughts. Who wants to go first? What was your initial thoughts as far as, wow, there's a brand new Voltron on TV or on Netflix? Go ahead, Shang.
I was like, I hope it's not like Nickelodeon. That was my first thought that went to my mind. My first thought. And once I watched the first episode, I was thanking Jesus.
Yep.
Dean, you want to go next?
I was like, look, there had to be certain tests that this passed when I first saw a trailer. I was like, number one, they better have, lions coming together in a very animated fashion. They don't have to do it as back then. It's just like back then. They just have to do that. They just couldn't show them going up and then just coming back down. No, there better be forming. Check. Blazing sword. Check.
And a few other things that we're not going to say yet.
Okay, right. But those, I didn't care about animation because animation is going to be due to the times.
That's true.
Now, as soon as I saw DreamWorks and Voltron carving out the moon, I was like, okay, I'm going to turn this up now. And I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to go make me a fucking sandwich, and I'll be right back. Because that's what got me hooked onto the shit in the fucking first place when I saw Voltron himself cutting that fucking moon DreamWorks logo. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine.
Gray Mouse, go ahead. Your thoughts, your initial thoughts.
Oh, Lord.
A+.
No, this is an initial.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
You gave it an A+ without watching it? God damn, you got more faith in it than anybody else.
We're saving the grades for the end, all right?
So,
You gave it an A at the beginning?
Yeah.
Look, when I saw DreamWorks, I was done. I was done right then and there. I was like,
What Shrek was going to guest star?
Much.
It took me 5 minutes into the episode, and I was done. Because I was the same way. I had my list. I was like, okay, this, and this, and everything got checked off, and then some.
I didn't have a list. I was just, as long as it wasn't Nickelodeon. But anyway.
Yeah, well, look.
Nickelodeon didn't stay true to Voltron, so that's valid.
Yeah, okay. I'll say this right now, okay? At least it didn't have Keith running around with a blazing sword outside of the fucking lions. So I'm very happy about that, okay? Yeah, look, Voltron the Legendary Defender. If you don't get it by now, we all liked it. I liked it a lot. And the truth of the matter is that Studio Mir, the same studio behind the Avatar series, especially Avatar Legend of Korra, they went ahead and they went whole hog into this. And from the very beginning, from the very first episode, it was very obvious that these guys were fans of the original Voltron series back in the 80s. Okay, all throughout the series, there are little nods to this series going
a little.
Well, no.
Are you fucking?
We'll cover those. We'll cover those spoilers later.
Give us a
Okay?
minute. Give us a minute.
Yeah, we'll cover those spoilers later. But like I
All
said,
of us got something we want to say on that. Trust me.
yeah, we're gonna get there. Okay, but this particular project, as it was, especially when you have somebody coming back and they're visiting something that's hell over 30 years old now, whenever you sit there and you mention reboot or remake to anybody who's noticed something from their childhood, the first thing that was going through my mind, with just like everybody else can probably agree, the first thing that was going through my mind when I heard about it was, I hope they don't fuck this up. Thankfully, I can confidently say that they didn't fuck it up. That being said, before we go ahead and we get into the things that we really, really liked about it, what are some of the things that kind of bugged you or that kind of struck you as odd? Was there anything at all?
I'll go first on this, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt, there is nothing wrong at all with the new Voltron Defender of the Universe. I cannot find a fault. I tried.
You know what's funny about that? I found fault in the old series.
That's the point. Yes, it's better than the old series.
Here's the thing about the old series. The first 5 episodes of it was just, we find Alliance, we form Voltron. How? How are you motherfuckers? Wait, did you have training on Voltron parts? Did you? Wait a second here.
I'm about to go to what you're talking about now.
It's like, wait a minute, you already know how to form it? No. Now this one, the DreamWorks version, there was trial and errors.
Yes.
About everything. And that's, due to the personalities of the characters, that's what fuels the show. There's just enough comedy. There's just enough seriousness. There's a lot of trials and a lot of errors. And you will understand it. They didn't romper room this for us. Everybody that's watching this can understand the trials and tribulations that everyone is going through and the interaction with the characters, especially Keith and Lance.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my God. There were certain points, and then there's Hunk. Points where I could not stop laughing.
Before we get into that, Shane, what are, like I said, anything that you might have had reservations on?
The main reservation for me was, like I said, informing it. You know, were they going to bring in extra members? Like I said, like when I don't want to mention anymore, because to me, it's like the Zeldas, like even the boy said before, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
I seen nothing wrong. If anything, it enhanced the original because the storytelling was better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to touch on that later when we go into it. Storytelling was way better. The only thing I may have to say is, of course, there had to be a line on Earth, but I'll get into that later. I kind of can touch on why it was there because of the way the story was told. So, yeah.
I do have one real big major fucking reservation about this series, right? And that is this. When's fucking season 2? This is way too fucking short.
Season 2 will be later this year.
Yeah. I'm just saying
this year is going to creep up on us. It's already October 2016.
Well,
no,
you know,
I'm checking months. It's already September. It feels like October. It's already late September 2016. They better come with this soon.
Yep. Well, like I said, you know, that's my only reservation on. I don't want to make it look like as a group we're filleting this particular project, but the truth of the matter is that as old school fans who were around to actually watch the original adaptation that was brought here to the States back in 1984, this is a phenomenal remake. There's a lot of things that were really, really smart that they did. And let me go ahead and start this particular portion off. One of the things that was changed that I thought was really good and really smart was that, you know, you mentioned the characters, Hunk, Keith, Lance, Pidge, and then Shiro. And then,
Shiro.
there might be some people out there going, Shiro, who the fuck was Shiro? Well, if you remember the original series, there was the original pilot of the Blue Lion was Sven, and he got into a fight with Hagar. He got killed. Everybody thought, and then he ended up coming back later. But the Japanese name in the Japanese version of the anime for Sven was Shiro.
Right.
So they went ahead. It was something Shirogane, and they went ahead and they went ahead and used it, cut it short, and they used Shiro for the pilot of the Black Lion, which was the one. I think, great.
That was
and brilliant. It is interesting that they
brilliant.
They changed the leader.
As soon as I thought all of that was brilliant. I was like, oh my gosh, Shiro's the leader. I'm like, interesting, and the way they went about it is fucking brilliant.
You know what I thought was brilliant? Was the slapstick.
Nothing is out of place as far as slapstick.
The jokes were point on, and it was something that I would think they would do. I think one of my favorite ones when they were trying to form Voltron, when they stacked lions on top of each other. I was rolling. I was like, yeah.
Hunk, you're a leg. You're at the bottom. Well, it's not my turn to be the head? No. Shiro is the head.
You sure about that?
The slapstick was dead on. They stacked the lions.
And the one thing I did like was, in a nod, they kept true to the original. One of the members is a girl. You just don't find that out until about 5 episodes in.
Yep.
They still kept it there.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't figured this out by now, look, the series was released out in batch in June 10th. It should go without saying that, yes, a lot of things that we're going to talk about may be spoilers if you haven't gotten around to it. So if you haven't figured it out now, there will be spoilers. We will be talking about things in this series that are not obvious. If you have issue with that, you can go ahead and hit the X button up here if you're on Windows, or the X button over here if you're on fucking Mac.
Or you can swipe us away on a portable device.
Exactly. All right. What type of things did they change that didn't actually go ahead and insult your intelligence, guys? I know this is the one thing that really amazed me was the fact that they went out of their way and it wasn't the same old copy and paste from the original one. They changed a lot of aspects from each and every character, and they went ahead and they brought it forward, and they did it in a very, very smart way. What are some of the changes that stick out to you as something really, really smart?
All right,
one of the changes I thought was the hand weapons.
Oh, the Bayards?
Yes, I thought that was very intelligent for what they did, and then they integrated that into the lions. And got the lion weaponry as well. I was like, yes.
The connection between the lions and the one that it's made for, I was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, let's do this right. And they got everything correct in that aspect as far as describing the lion and who was going to be the pilot for that fucking lion. They got all that correct. And what were the lions doing? First of all, they had to learn each and everything for these lions, and which they haven't yet.
Yep.
The lions communicate with the pilot. They talk to them. My lion is telling me this. The lion is telling me something, and next thing you know, something happens, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and you can actually feel that. That was brilliant storytelling as far as it's like, okay, yeah. And that goes with what Greymouse was saying, the weapons. All of that comes together with character.
Yep.
I love the way that they introduced the Red Lion.
I thought that was brilliant.
Keith is a hothead in this series.
Yes, I thought that was brilliant.
And they were like, the Red Lion, you have to earn the Red Lion's respect.
Or are they gonna do that?
Princess Allura said that. I'm like, whoa. So how is that gonna happen with this fucking hothead?
What about you, Shang? What thing changed did you like From
Okay. I got three main points. The first one is that Allura and Corinne weren't looking like humans. They were actually aliens.
Humans with Zelda ears.
Yes.
They were still aliens, and you could tell they were not from Earth. Second part of I love is the simple fact that they had to go literally find them on different planets. They weren't on one planet. They had to go look for him, and it made sense why the blue one was on Earth because he hid it on Earth. Makes sense why the red one, why Darkon had the red one because he found it first. It made a lot of sense how things went. And the third one is, if you didn't have the first, just like in the old school with the toys, if you didn't have all the lions, you weren't forming Voltron, and since the black lion would not turn on without having all of them there, that to me made sense.
The lions bowed to the black lion when they got to him.
Pretty much. And I love that. Basically meaning that if you don't have all the other lions, ain't no point even trying to work the black one, which all this perfectly made sense to me.
Well, before we go to the next segment, I want to mention something that that Shay Long said, was that if you saw towards the end of the first season, you started seeing the intro that the lions, the green lion came out of the forest. The blue lion came out of the water.
That never happened in the series.
Out of the fire. And I was like, and the yellow lion came out of the earth. I was like, yes, 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 and yes.
The funniest thing about that is that doesn't happen in the series. That only happens in the intro.
Yeah.
Well,
and that pays homage to all of us.
From
and
the
it's
old
like,
school one.
season 2's coming.
Okay. Because some people will probably have that complaint. And it's like, wait a second here. So in old school, how did they fucking teleport through these lions in their dens in second when Voltron?
Well, hang on. Before you go into that, is like at the very end of the series, they get split up, right? We all know that. They go into different parts. So what I'm thinking is season 2 is that's where they're going to go to their different planets or whatever. They're in different environments. So that's what I think that's season 2 coming up. I mean, that's just my anyway. But like Shilong was saying, it's like, look, the green lion came out of the forest. I was like, yes.
Well, let me go ahead and throw in mine since I haven't had a chance to. The one thing that I liked about it that they changed up that was really smart was the fact that and you guys covered a lot of it, but not only did they go ahead and they reflect the lions, the pilots, as far as okay, these guys have to go ahead and connect to each other, that the personalities match up, but they actually made the characters real characters. Because let's be honest, with the original Voltron, it was pretty much, we've got moments of them sitting around in the castle, and then something happens, then it's a race to get into the lions. When they finally get into the lions, it's a race to fucking form Voltron. Blazing sword, you should have done this in the first 5 fucking minutes of the fight, and it would have been all over, right? That's the general thing. But they actually made it where it was like you actually cared about each and every pilot as a character, which was great. Yeah, I mean, including the princess. Yeah. All right, and the princess wasn't just somebody who was sitting there,
Right.
Just the princess and for the people.
Yeah,
for the people.
And I said this in one of the previous videos. All right, in the very first Voltron Legendary Defender video, I said that if they don't bring back the fucking mice, I wouldn't fucking mind. In fact, that was the one thing that annoyed me most about the original fucking series. But they actually go out of their way to explain
this time.
Yeah, they actually explain why the Princess Allura could go ahead and fucking communicate with the mice. Yes, I know it's some hoity-toity, like, build your own, connect the dots fucking pseudoscience, but it actually made fucking sense.
We're going to try to explain science. This is alien technology, okay?
Look, yeah, I'm not going there.
Look, I'm a middle-aged guy. My name is the theme, and I hate Mises to pieces. But this time, they brought these Mises.
Everything made sense when they threw it in there.
The thing about it is, here's one thing I said about the original series a long time ago. I'm like, wait a minute. So if anyone had the keys to these lions, anybody can pilot them? No, this time, the keys are not relevant here. But we're going to connect to you in order to get in there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Before we before we get into like really, really deep things, all right, and this might take a little bit longer for each of us. What were your favorite moments in this series? All right, actually pick 2, okay, at most.
Okay. Damn, only 2?
Yeah, because the thing is, there's 4 of us.
I know.
Don't have that much time.
Okay, so who's going first?
Oh God, you guys.
Well, I could go first. What I'll do is the slapstick. It was just something that fit. It wasn't out of place. It was almost like the peanut slapstick. You know what I mean? It was just it was there where it's supposed to be, and there was some serious times and there were some slapstick times. It was perfectly placed. And my second would be just the general characterization of all characters in that show. There is not a single character on that show. Doesn't matter. All of them are integrated. All of them have stories. All of them have unique stories to each of them. And it's like even the bad guys aren't. It's all just it's perfect. Okay, next. Somebody else.
I'll chime in next.
Go ahead, Shang.
For me, had to be when they formed Voltron, they still had to figure out how to fight, how to get the weapons, and like I said, the Lion was telling them how to bring out like the sword or bring out the gun, and we know there's going to be more weapons later, probably in season 2, because we still got 3 more lions that they haven't shown nothing yet. And my second favorite part is just the princess in general. They basically turned her character into not just, oh, I'm Princess Allura. Her whole character revolved around saving a planet. She could change into and adapt to another race. I mean, they gave her the full alien treatment and didn't leave her human. I'm alien. We got high tech. Check this out. This is what we do. And I loved it because it was nothing like the original where you could have put her on Earth and she would have been an Earthling. Oh no, not in this series. Her character alone for me made the series because I liked the rest of him, don't get me wrong. But the changes to her alone boosted it up real big for me. Because it falls in place with everything else.
What about you, Theme?
To concur with what Gray Mouse and what Shane Long just said, the slapstick was awesome. Seconds to ticks.
That was hilarious. I love that.
Okay, that's one. Number 2, what Shane Long said. Every character, including the lions, has character, and everything has meaning. Everyone has meaning. No one is out of place. No one is like, if we could take this character away or this lion away from the show, it just would be the same. No, this isn't Meg from Family Guy. Everybody has meaning here. And 2 more things. The fights. I love the way the fights interacted with the characters. Not just showing all 5 going, every time Voltron gets hit. No. For a specific lion, it'll cut to this person while the fighting's going on or while something's going on. And the lion will react a certain way along with the character. And the soundtrack. The soundtrack is one of the main things that kept me into the fucking show, along with everything else that was going on. Love the fucking soundtrack. I gotta get a hold of that fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, we'll probably be able to find it soon.
Yeah.
We'll be trolling through the land of parrots and peg legs soon enough to go ahead and find that.
That was the only thing but the only note I would give Nickelodeon was I still like the Swiss Beats intro. That's about it.
That's about it.
That's
all
about
right.
it.
Okay.
What about you, Reverend?
The things that I liked about it, since you guys covered a lot of the things that were on the top of my head, what I have left is actually I think it's still pretty great. My favorite parts, like I said before, very, very smart callbacks to the original series. Okay, the folks who went ahead and did this, the guys at Studio Mer who put this together, they knew the original series and they're diehard fans. When they started doing the Voltron formation quotations from when they took off in the castle, fucking
yes,
I was not expecting that at all. When I heard that the first time, I fell out of my fucking seat. Okay.
I was clapping. I was doing this right here.
You know, mega thrusters to speed
Lord.
and stuff like that. I heard that. I was like, wait a minute, this is familiar. Then I thought about it. I was like,
yeah.
Yep. Mega thrusters are go.
I had to rewind that though. I was like, wait a minute, he didn't just say that, did he?
It was Princess Allura. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, when Princess Allura was taking off the castle, like I said, absolutely, that right there, that moment, even after the other little nods they had gotten to up until that point, that proved to me that they were big fans when they made this. All right. The second thing that really stood out to me that was great is that they made Zarkon a threat, not just a threat, but a badass. Okay. Zarkon.
Actually, him.
Yeah, Zarkon soloing the Red Lion by himself. Okay, and sitting there, going out of his way, saying, "Hey, look, the whole reason why the king didn't want you to bring the lions to me is because I am the first Black Paladin and pilot of the Black Lion."
I love that.
It was awesome, and like I said before in previous videos, Blazing Whip, I fucking called it. It's going to show up.
Zarkon had it.
Yes.
Dude, he had every version of their weapon.
He had their weapons.
Yep, he had all of their weapons. All right.
He was kicking the Red Lion's ass.
Yep. I mean, it's one of those things. No, it's one of those things that it was like. I thought it was great.
I mean, that story plot was that he was the original Black Lion. Because I was like, wait a minute. When he had that, I was like,
wait a minute.
Are you kidding me?
Wait.
Yeah.
I love the fact what Reverend just touched on. Zarkon, a threat. He wasn't just sitting on a fucking throne.
Yeah.
No, when they came to him, he went to work. He went out there and he took on Keith the Red Lion alone. Not just held his own, but he fucking bested him.
Wait. What does that say about Keith, though?
Well,
and the thing is,
badass, man.
No, he's inexperienced with the Red Lion.
Yeah, and the thing is that I don't think it was anything that was done there to sit there and go, oh yeah, these guys aren't shit. No, it's just the fact that it was like, no, there's a reason why this guy has taken over most of the known universe. All right. And there's a reason
sending out troops.
Yeah.
No, he is an actual fucking threat.
Well, 10,000 years.
True.
He's been ran wild for 10,000 years, and he took over. And it explains it. He took over solar systems.
Yep.
That's the known universe he owns.
Well, we're here, and Earth is way.
Yeah, it's like what?
He took it way over.
He didn't even get there.
Yeah.
And
when they made Karan a notable character, that's when I was like, yes. When he meant nothing in the first one.
Princess Allura didn't mean anything until she was the Blue Lion.
Yep.
The only thing Karan was known for was get your alliance.
Yep. And getting the fucking Princess T. That was the only thing he was fucking known for.
But May was more important.
I mean, seriously, it was a swan song. This whole anime is a swan song to the original series, and then some.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the way it ended.
Give me the second season. That's all I gotta say.
Let me tell you something. All right, DreamWorks, if you're listening, bring back Pirates of Dark Water. Do it like this. Continue Young Justice. Do it like this. Please do something. Even bring back fucking Turbo Team and do it like this. I don't fucking care.
I wouldn't mind seeing Reboot come back.
Well, I mean, guys, what do you expect? This came from a company that did the last Airbender. What do you fucking expect? That's a damn look. Watch that shit if you haven't already. I'm just going to say that. So I went into this already knowing it was going to be good, pretty much.
On that, Gray Mouse,
We've been burned by Voltron before.
Yeah, I got burned twice. One by the 3D version, and then one by making me like the intro, and then screwing me in the end.
Yeah,
I went into this with the thinking
hey, She-Ra hasn't been redone yet. Bring back She-Ra and do it like this.
Like I said at the beginning of the video, please don't Nickelodeon it. And like I said, I seen nothing wrong in anything they did, and I love the way, especially Pidge's character. I like that one the most.
I agree. It gave her depth. It really did. It gave her a lot of depth.
Oh my God!
Go ahead, Reverend.
Okay, I had another one of those aneurysm moments. And I know you guys love it when this happens, when I throw this type of thing out. Do you realize the way that they set up Pidge and her brother, that they set up an opportunity and an opening to possibly
vehicle force?
It can be a vehicle force.
I know, and I
saw that. I saw that a mile away.
They thought it's funny because Pidge is looking at his girlfriend and not knowing that it was her, and a picture of her and her brother.
Yeah,
I was like, fucking brilliant. And yes, she came out and said that she was a girl. A couple of people already knew.
Yeah,
except Lance, and he flipped out.
I was gonna say Lance's reaction was like, Pidge is a girl? Just the animation, I was like,
Lance and Keith. God damn.
To me, I love the way I love Pidge's character depth, the way they went. If I gotta say a favorite character of mine, it's the fact, especially from the last two episodes I was watching Lance, man, the stuff he was saying. Let's just go in there, man, and beat him down and come back out. Word. I'm like, this fool was always just trying to be cool, and he wasn't.
You know what? Yeah, you know what's funny is that I think I know it's pretty obvious by the way the sentiments and the comments that we've made that we probably go on for another 30-40 minutes, but we are running a little bit short on this particular video. Maybe we'll go ahead and we'll do a secondary one where it's just bullshitting about the video, about the series. We're just talking about random stuff on it. But let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Are any final thoughts on it, folks? 30 seconds or less? Go ahead, Shane Long.
My final thought is, if you ain't watched it, watch it. It has a great storyline, great characters, and you will not regret. If you got to go get a $9.99 subscription to Netflix to see this, it'll be the best $10 you ever spent. Trust me.
Look,
what's your grade? Give us your grade. 5. 5 stars out of 5.
Nothing. Just like back in the day with R. Kelly, I see nothing wrong.
Alrighty, team.
Okay, look. Watch the first 5 episodes of the old Voltron, and then watch this. Just to concur with what Shane Long just said. Watch this fucking series. You will be hooked, period. It will hook you because, especially if you're open-minded, grade 5 out of fucking 5. Season 2, come on out. Don't Young Justice us. Don't Pirates of Dark Water us. Come on out. That's why I say.
Gray Mouse.
With me, like I said, or like everybody else has said before me, look, if you're a fan of the original series, this actually should have took place off the original series. That's just how good it is. And my grade is A+.
All right, we'll give it a 5. Hey, all righty. I think I'm going to echo everybody else. No dissenting opinion here. A 5 out of 5 for me. It's a great story. It's a great remake. It far exceeded any of my expectations. Like I said, my expectations were pretty low, and the only thing I was thinking was that please don't fuck this up. Studio Mer, A+ job, bang up job. They did it great. And that's pretty much our thoughts on Voltron Legendary Defender, at least for this video.
Wait, one thing I could say they missed. I wish they would have put more lightning while they're reforming. That would have been a better, that would have been the old school one. But I understand they didn't do that.
Yeah. They couldn't introduce everything, but let me go ahead and wrap this one up because we've only got less than a minute left. Like I say at the end of every video, if you're so kind, hit like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment below. I am the Reverend.
The thing here.
Great Mouse 1.
Dang long 32.
Foreign blazing sword, and it wasn't a fucking whip. Well, Zarkon had the whip, but he had the sword. He had the sword. He had the fucking sword. He had the fucking sword. Credits.
And
I called it.
They had a gun.
I was actually expecting the music. Dun, da, da, da.
Voltron blasted on somebody.
At least they didn't form in the arms with the legs. They didn't reverse that when they were doing the trial and errors.
Yep.